who is the Steven Seagal of the U.S. Senate? Like, who fucking sucks?
Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucks.
I have said that I probably like Ted Cruz more than most of my colleagues like Ted Cruz, and I hate Ted Cruz. He's your senator.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, God.
We see the signs. I know. He's a real piece of shit. Right?
Well,
He's so hated. It's weird when somebody keeps getting, you're like, everybody I know hates him.
Everybody.
I talk about him on stage in any market, in any place, and people all laugh at making fun of him. They all boo him. It doesn't matter where you are. And you're like, how does somebody get elected like this?
there's something wrong with him. I mean, he's smart.
Yeah, smart
Very
guy.
smart.
Yeah.
I have so many stories. In my act, I have a whole Ted Cruz section.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amy Klobuchar, who is my senior senator, good sense of humor, and she's picked to do the Gridiron Dinner, which is this prestigious press dinner. And remember the Carnival Cruise?
Yes.
Okay, the Carnival Cruise in late 2013 is a cruise that goes out to the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a luxury cruise, billed as a luxury cruise. And they have an engine fire, and everything, the engine's gone, but so is everything else. The electricity, the plumbing, so there's all this poop floating on the decks, the poop decks, actual literal poop decks.
Yeah.
And so it's called the Poop Cruise. And it took like 2 weeks for tugboats to come and bring it back in.
God.
So these people had paid for a luxury cruise, and there's poop floating around. Okay, so Amy's doing this dinner, and she would not let me write jokes for her because everyone had always asked, did Al write jokes? But she let me do rewrites. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she comes up with this really good joke, which is when most people think of a bad cruise, they think of Carnival, but we in the Senate think of Ted.
That's great.
So I tell her, okay, I got a rewrite that I think is better. So you'll hear this at the end of this section of the Ted Cruz section. So next Thursday, I see her going to different senators who she's written jokes about. And so she heads to Ted, and I go, I want to be on this.
Yeah.
And so we're having, and she says, she softened the joke. She says, Ted, I'm doing a Gridiron Dinner, and I'm doing a joke about you, and I wonder if I could run it by you. He goes, I'll tell you what, I believe in the First Amendment. You go ahead and tell me your little joke. Fucking asshole. So she goes, when most people think of a difficult cruise, she softened it for him. They think of Carnival, but we Democrats in the Senate think of Ted. And he goes, instead of difficult, why don't you make it a challenging cruise?
Oh.
Yeah, and she kind of going like, oh, now it's not funny. And he's smart.
Yeah.
He's a dick, but he's smart.
Yeah.
So he sees, like, okay, you go ahead and tell your little joke.
Oh.
I believe in the First Amendment. So I said, Ted, I've done a rewrite, which I think is a lot better. And I see Amy go like, oh, no. But also, I want to be here for this. So he goes, okay, what is it? I go, when most people think of a cruise as full of shit,
Ooh.
they think of Carnival, but we think of Ted.
Ooh.
And he just went, huh?
Yeah.
And I went,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
But he was a terrible, terrible colleague, and just everyone hates him. I mean, I think Lindsey Graham said if he were murdered on the floor of the Senate and the Senate was the jury, no one would convict him.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And that's his own colleague. Like, that's his own party.
Yeah, Lindsey's funny. He's
Yeah.
he's gone off the rails, I think,
Yeah.
but he's really funny.
Yeah.
How does this shit talking work between politicians? It seems like you guys are just so open about it. I mean, as you know,
No.
like, would Ted Cruz get offended and fire back? Is he going to send you a text? Is he going to be like, fuck you, Franken, behind closed doors? Like, how does it work?
He was just kind of stunned, and I just turned and walked away. And he'd lied to me a lot, and he'd lied to other people, and everyone just hates him. And he's just got a real problem. Cancun, that was just,
Yeah. Yeah.
he lied.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to go on a 4-day vacation to Cancun. And while Texas is frozen over, people are dying, right? So he gets caught. He's doing that roller bag, and someone videotapes it, And then he gets photographed on the plane, and he lands, and his staff calls him, "We got a problem," and he just immediately just goes, "Well, I was just dropping the kids off."
Yeah.
And now I'm going right back. And, the problem was he was in a group chat with some other families, and he and Heidi had invited a number of other families to go on a 4-day vacation with us to the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun, and Ted loves the Ritz-Carlton. Now, normally when you ask people to go on vacation with you, they're friends.
Yeah.
And friends don't usually go immediately to the New York Times with your text.
Yeah.
But they did.
They did. Yeah. It's very telling.
Yeah.
It's very telling. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, enough about him.
Okay, sure.
That's enough space.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking guy.
That fucking guy.
Thank you for watching that highlight here from YMH Studios. That was a highlight or a clip, whichever word you prefer. You watched it, and there are so many more little bite-sized episode things. They're just click them. Maybe it's someone screaming or bleeding. Maybe it's just laughing at someone, making fun of them.